these are photos captured with the OPPO X9 Ultra, and this is footage recorded using its camera. So what rating would you give it? A 200-megapixel primary camera, a 200-megapixel telephoto sensor, a built-in 10x optical zoom, along with an upgraded master mode and enhanced video features. This is OPPO's vision of smartphone photography in 2026 with the X9 Ultra.
A quick shout to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out our exciting tech content.
Let's start with the design. This time, OPPO takes even more inspiration from Hasselblad's iconic Scandinavian styling. The version I have here is the black model, known as the Earth Tycoon colorway. It features a two-piece vegan leather finish that feels premium in hand. On the side, there's a striking orange button that instantly reminds me of the Hasselblad X2 D2 camera. What surprised me most is that the camera bump isn't as large as you'd expect, and the phone feels incredibly comfortable to hold. Honestly, this generation is the one I'm most willing to use without a case. As for the design, I'd easily give it a perfect 10 out of 10. What score would you give it? Now let's move on to the camera hardware. The imaging system on the X9 Ultra has received a major upgrade, and I'll walk you through the sample shots in detail. All of these photos were captured using the 10x lens. I'm curious about your thoughts on the image quality and overall look, but personally, I think they're absolutely incredible. Not only do the photos look stunning, but the image quality itself is also exceptional. Here's a comparison against a competitor's 8x lens. You can spot the difference immediately, right? This shot was taken at 1x, while this one uses the 10x lens. When shooting portraits with a 10x focal length, it compresses the background and pulls it closer to the subject, creating a much more dramatic and visually impressive image. It's honestly amazing that OPPO managed to fit a true 10x optical lens into such a slim device. Right now, I'm at the Bird's Nest Stadium and a concert is about to begin. Next, I'll show you what it's like to record concerts from different seating areas using the Ultra. Let's start from the lower section. I'm currently seated on the first level of the stands near the area where performers usually come out. Let's see what the 10x zoom can do. At 1x zoom, we can see staff moving equipment around. Now, take a look at the person on the left. That spot is typically where artists move during concerts. He's currently positioned near the side of the venue, quite far away from me. If you moved closer to my side, I think the results would look even better. This footage was captured from the middle section of the first floor stands. I'm curious whether this level of quality meets your expectations. All right, let me show you a photo. If you manage to get seats in the inner area close to the stage, this 10x zoom is more than enough. You could even capture half-body portraits. Now I've moved to the upper section of the bird's nest. Let me show you around. This is basically the highest point possible. You really can't go any higher. Here's the comparison. 1x zoom, 10x zoom, 1x zoom again, and then 10x zoom. Tag your friends in the comments who regularly attend concerts and ask them to rate these results. Based on my own concert photography experience, if you're sitting in the inner area, 10x zoom is absolutely sufficient. Even if you're seated in the lower rows or higher sections, a 10x lens is still enough to capture the performances you want. But if you want to zoom even further, you'll need a teleconverter. I'd love to know your thoughts on teleconverters, but personally, I think the biggest advantage smartphones have over cameras is their convenience and portability. Carrying around an extra teleconverter feels a bit inconvenient to me. This time, OPPO also introduced a 300mm teleconverter that can extend to over 600mm or even around 1380mm. But I'll say it again. Aside from concert photography and wildlife shooting, there are very few situations where you'll actually need a teleconverter. And let's be honest, it's not cheap either. So if you're considering one, think carefully before making the purchase. The standout feature of the OPPO Find X9 Ultra is undoubtedly its built-in 10x optical zoom, giving users an elegant and effortless shooting experience. Meanwhile, 3x zoom remains the classic golden focal length for portrait photography. There's a saying among photographers, a larger sensor makes all the difference. In other words, the bigger the CMOS sensor, the better the image quality. This time, the 3x camera uses a brand new geometry CMOS sensor, allowing even more light to enter the camera system. If you're not sure how to compose a good shot, or if you're shooting in a crowded or messy environment, simply switch to 3x lens and take half-body portraits. In most cases, you'll get great results almost every time. The 3x lens is also excellent for capturing beautiful city scenes at night or during blue hour. Another useful tip is when photographing people, try adding foreground elements into the frame. Doing so adds depth and makes both photos and videos look more cinematic. The main 1x camera uses an equivalent 1-inch CMOS sensor paired with a large f1.5 aperture. When shooting close subjects, this creates a shallower depth of field and a more professional look. Thanks to the new sensor, both photos and videos benefit from improved dynamic range. Simply put, even in backlit situations, it can preserve details on a person's face while also keeping the sky in the background properly exposed. The second-generation single-lens refractive technology not only maintains the excellent image quality of the first generation in challenging lighting conditions, but also introduces further video enhancements. And speaking of video, that's something we'll dive into next.
Now that we've covered the hardware upgrades, it's time to dive into the software experience. One of OPPO's signature features has always been the Hasselblad Master Mode. It doesn't just recreate Hasselblad's iconic color science, it also includes various film simulation styles. Compared to standard shooting modes, the brightness curves and overall image rendering in Master Mode feel much closer to what you'd expect from an actual camera. This time, OPPO has introduced 3 new filters. One of them is the Turret filter, inspired by the look of Turret 400 film. In my opinion, this filter performs best under bright sunlight, especially during strong afternoon light or sunny daytime conditions. If the weather is cloudy, however, I strongly recommend switching to the black and white contrast filter. Trust me, this filter rarely disappoints. In urban environments, it creates an incredibly stylish and cinematic atmosphere that looks amazing. I highly recommend giving it a try. Another useful addition is the ability to quickly import master recipes created and shared by other users. You've probably already seen these presets circulating on social media, and now you can import them directly into the phone with ease. Even better, the watermark now records the master recipe parameters, making it simple to share your own custom settings with others. In Hasselblad Ultra Light Mode, you can capture 4K live photos across the entire focal range, shoot 200 megapixel images at both 1x and 3x, and directly output 50 megapixel photos at other focal lengths. Images captured in this mode also offer improved resolution when stitched together inside the gallery. My personal recommendation is this: for portraits and half-body shots, stick to the regular photo or portrait mode because they include beauty features, which for someone with an aging face like mine are definitely appreciated. But when shooting full-body portraits or landscapes, switching to 200 megapixel mode or 4K live photos will give you the best image quality and overall results. Video performance has also seen major improvements. As I mentioned earlier, thanks to the brand new sensor and optical design, the camera now delivers a wider dynamic range. OPPO's engineers have also further refined the image processing algorithms. When recording in standard video mode, even in strong backlit scenes, the camera can brighten faces while preserving highlight details, all without requiring extra editing afterward. Personally, I think the straight out of the camera colors look fantastic. Beyond the main camera, every focal length supports 4K at 120 fps and even 8K at 30 fps. The purpose of 4K 120 fps is mainly for slow motion editing during post-production, while 8K 30 fps is more useful for cropping and reframing footage later while maintaining better image quality. In real-world use though, I rarely shoot in 8K 30 fps. First, I simply don't have much need for it. Second, compared with 4K 60 fps, shooting at 4K 30 fps introduces some image cropping. To me, this feature feels more like OPPO demonstrating their technical capabilities. That said, whether you're shooting at 4K 120 FPS, 60 FPS, or 30 FPS, the image quality across all focal lengths remains highly usable. What impresses me most is the support for professional video formats. I had a few concerns about the previous generation's log format, but this time OPPO redesigned the tone curves. The color restoration and flexibility during editing are now extremely satisfying. On top of that, image quality has significantly improved. The 1x and 3x cameras are genuinely outstanding. I can confidently say they've surpassed many compact point-and-shoot cameras. The 10x video quality is slightly behind the 1x and 3x cameras, but it's still very practical and usable. Of course, since I'm using a test version, I don't yet know whether OPPO plans to optimize it before release. In addition, the phone supports waveform monitoring and even allows users to import custom waveforms. OPPO officially provides color calibration waveforms, and I even created one myself. You can check out the results. If you're interested in getting it, leave a comment below and let me know. Once the stable version launches, I'll definitely share it with everyone, for free. Now let's talk about some areas that could still be improved. First, 4K video and 4K live photo modes currently don't support beauty effects. For someone like me with an aging face, that's a feature I truly miss, and I hope OPPO adds it in the future. Second, while shooting, I often accidentally touch the zoom slider. If you run into the same issue, I suggest turning it off. Or perhaps OPPO could add a dedicated EV adjustment button. Right now, EV controls sit at the top of the interface, which isn't very convenient for one-handed use. So my suggestion for the final version is to include a more accessible EV adjustment shortcut. Lastly, the cloud service's compression ratio could be improved. Even when I choose the option to keep only thumbnails on my device, a lot of files still remain locally. And when editing videos, the system barely compresses them at all. I hope the official version improves the compression efficiency a bit, or perhaps takes inspiration from some other well-designed systems. To sum it all up, many of my longtime followers ended up buying OPPO phones after seeing my posts on social media. The feedback I hear most often is that these phones reduce the anxiety of taking great photos. Whether it's video recording or still photography, I would personally give the Find X9 Ultra a score of 95 out of 100. Its built-in 10x optical zoom lens is especially impressive. OPPO's engineers have taken care of the complex technology behind the scenes, leaving users with an experience that's elegant, fast, and effortless. So what score would you give the Find X9 Ultra? If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below.